G'day, just doing an overhaul on a 4L60E in a VY LS1 ute. A couple of things. Came in with a problem. It was taking off in second gear and it would just hold second gear. Burnt out the band, obviously. The usual 3/4 clutch burnt out. All the other clutches seem to be okay. The band's burnt out. You can see you can actually scrape it with your finger. It's crumbly coming off it. Everything else looks okay. And what we found is this is the problem. One of the check balls is completely stuck solid in the separator plate. And that particular one there is the 1-2 upshift check ball. You can see it's stuck. Even if I try and push it, tried pushing it in, tried pushing it out, it's stuck solid. So it's worn out the separator plate and actually wedged itself in there. Low reverse clutch looks alright as well. So apart from everything being worn, the bushes are flogged out in it as well. The input rings, we like to put the step cut sealing rings on there. That way they don't collapse on you when the bushes run or wear out. What happens when the bushings wear out, then that'll move around like that and actually resize the rings to a smaller size. Get a pressure leak there, and then that's what happens. So you can find that in another video. I'll put the link in the description to that one. The little return springs, I always leave them in. They do collapse. We'll replace those. They've just got a slightly longer spring. And one other thing you can do, instead of having the metal check balls in these, you can get through Sonax these imodized check balls. And what they've got, you see they're like a little plastic, hardened plastic check ball. And then what'll happen is basically the little balls will wear out instead of your separator plate. So what we like to do is we put a Transgo separator plate in these. They've actually got some of the little ports are bigger, and the plate's actually a lot thicker. There we go. We've got the Transgo separator plate there, and I've just labelled. They've got second gear hole, 65 thou, 80 thou, and the third's 80 thou. You've got the position of the alignment bolt holes, those there. The later ones have a PWM solenoid. You've got the little filter screens, you can see. There they are there. One there. And one there. Yeah. That just shows those positions. And 3D solenoid holes. And there we've got the check ball that's stuck, and we've got the other position of the other check balls there, and I've actually labelled it on that Transgo separator plate. That's the one we've got stuck. You got your check ball for the 3/4 clutch, the exhaust, reverse input clutch, third clutch, the accumulator, forward clutch, accumulator, overrun clutch feed, overrun clutch control. So they're all check balls in those positions there. We've got the usual, the output shaft there, and there's that little lube seal. If that loosens up on that, you end up losing lube, lubricating the rear end of the transmission, these little ports there. I believe I've got that in another video as well. Now the drum, it's actually important to pressure test it, and the idea is to make sure that that shaft hasn't come loose in the actual drum. And the way you'll find that is if you put air pressure in there, you do a what's called a wet air pressure test. So it's got to be all nice and oily, and when you put pressure to it, you'll see like little air bubbles forming there if it's no good. You can see that there. Fair bit of muck on there where the 3/4 clutch is burnt out. Now the reaction shell, quite often on these, this will break off here, it'll crack off, and what happens, you'll lose reverse completely. You'll have all your forward gears but no reverse gear. This one looks alright. Those splines there are known to be like pointy sharp. If that's the case, good idea to replace it. You can also get a heavy duty shell. Instead of having thrust washers on there, they put Torrington bearings and all that sort of business. Another thing you can check are the Torrington bearings. They just come apart. Don't force it apart or you'll end up bending those skid plates. You just slowly work it away like that, and it'll just find its little pop out position. This one's not going. You can see it's got those two little lock points there. Ideally you want to replace them all. Sometimes not all the skid plates are available. There we go. And you want to just make sure that there are absolutely no marks there that may cause any damage to those bearings or the little needle rollers. But that one doesn't look too bad, and you just pop it back on like that. There we go. Make sure it's nice and clean. You've got these little sleeves here with a check ball in there. There's one at the rear of the transmission, and there's one in here. Is located in the servo piston area there, and you don't want those leaking as well. So the way you can check that, you just get a bit of clean solvent, you pour it in there, and you can see that's holding there. So that one's alright. And the servo bore capsule, you can just see it. You can just see the ball there. If you see, if I move the case, look, it runs away and then it comes back there, and that has to be sealing in the upside down case position like that. And if you just pour a little bit of solvent in there where the servo piston is. So he's pouring it in there. The case is upside down and you can see that that's sealing perfectly. Let it go. And that's where that little check ball is. So that capsule's okay as well. But it's important to test that. Otherwise you'll just do the whole rebuild job, and without replacing or checking those for leaks, you're going to reduce the life of your transmission. And the bushings, I'll just show you the case bush, how worn it is. Yeah, you've got your rear hub there. Make sure the Torrington bearing's on there. You can see how loose that is, if you can see that. So I believe a lot of people get there, especially if they're inexperienced with checking these sort of things, they just replace the clutches, seals, rings, maybe even solenoids, gaskets, without replacing the bushings. your transmission is not going to last very long. And here's another example. There's your sprag clutch there. And sometimes you can, if you slide it off, there you go, I'm just testing that bush there. There's two in this. You can see they are fairly worn. So they need replacing as well. And you've got bushes located all over the place. You've got that one there on the output shaft that runs on here. You've got one on the reverse input here that runs on the other side of the pump here, runs on there. You've got to check all those bushings. And you can see that that's the switch plate, chocker block. These older switch plates, they actually show you which switch controls what gear. You got your third, reverse, second, fourth and first. The loom as well, you want to make sure all the clips are okay. These solid input rings, to get them on you need to actually stretch them, so you need a reshaping tool to resize it so you can actually put it all together. But these are known to collapse over time, so what we like to do is we use these step cut ones. You don't need a shaping tool to put them in, and also they're always sealing, because as soon as you get a little bit of pressure there, it ends up pushing that ring like that and seals better. So even if your bushings wear out, as long as there's pressure coming through there, it's going to be pushing it out like that. Whereas with these solid ones, what will happen is once that bushing's worn and that can move around like this, it's going to reshape to a smaller size, lose pressure, you end up burning out your clutches. All the mating surfaces that run or through the bushes or on the bushes, we use some 600 grit. Just get it all nice and smooth. You don't want that to be abrasive and prematurely wear out your bushings. The input drum needs to be perfectly flat. This one's got a few hard spots there, but it hasn't been chewed into, so we can go with some 240 grit, take those hard spots out and just finish it off nice and smooth. When you are polishing these shafts where the bushes run, if you don't have a lathe, you can do it by hand. Don't do it with really coarse stuff. It's got to be nice and smooth and flat as well. And that's probably about it. Anyway, I hope that helps. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any comments or suggestions, add them in the section below. And don't forget to throw us a beer if any of this information helps. Thank you for watching.